Okay. Ach stimmt, wir sind ja jetzt in dem Gebäude, ne? Ja. Also, aktuelle Situation ist Erfahrungspunkte holen, damit wir Pain Threshold aufleveln, weil irgendwie, keine Ahnung, im Moment ist nicht möglich mit dem Dings hier, mit dem Ding hier Tür zu öffnen, warum auch immer. Dementsprechend Pain Threshold, damit wir die Tür aufbrechen können. Gucken wir mal. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Boxes filled with cleaning chemicals, smells of laundry detergent. Logic. Old shoe rack, boots, sneakers and old slippers. A shabby door hangs oddly on its hinges. Secured to the door frame with a safety chain, an unpaid energy bill is attached, threatening to cut off the electricity. Is addressed to Mr. Uno de Ruyter. Tool not in here. Looks like we found where Kuno's dad lives. Lieutenant nods. And the place comes with 3 months worth of utility bills. Bam! Snip, the cutter goes through them like dead leaves. The links fall to the ground on the other side of the door. Lieutenant looks worried. I know there's no stopping you, but let's at least make this quick. Kuno de Ruyter is the name of an name on unfinished homework. Glossy erotica covers the wall wrinkled with moisture, from moisture. From 2 years ago. Phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw. Verbindung verloren. What? Warten wir mal kurz. Jede Verbindung erfolgreich. Okay. Anscheinend war Internet mal wieder kurz weg. Okay. Okay, also a phone book lies open on the table, covering a stack of utility bills. Right next to it, in plain sight, sits a small bottle of amphetamine, conveniently equipped with a straw. Lieutenant, I've located psychoactive substances on this table. Good. Confiscated. The minuscule amount of amphetamine doesn't interest the lieutenant in the slightest. He listens instead to something in the other room. Take the speed. You pocket the bottle as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Ja, beklauen wir einfach mal Kuno. The air stings with something sour. Part of clothes. Bun of clothes heaped on the table, on the bed. A stained parka, some towels, and a duvet. Some socks even. In the dark it looks like a nest. Slowly reach out your hand. Something underneath there is breathing. It's not too late. No one's going to blame you for backing out. You don't have to do this. Just get out. Keep extending your hand towards the pearl. Your hand touches a greasy duvet covered in cigarette burns and ketchup stains. You hear a growl. There's something alive underneath it. It's deep in suffering somehow. Pull the blanket off. It's dead. You see a 60-year-old fat, red-headed man passed out from large amounts of alcohol. And God knows what else. The smell of shit rises from his mouth. You don't have to take him down, he's already down. Is this Kuno's father we are seeing? Judging by the color of his hair, I would say yes, it is. Lieutenant's right, the man's unwashed hair bears a familiar ginger tone. Even the hair on his chest is coppery. The light from the window falls into his half-open eyes. Doesn't look like he's going to fuck anyone up anytime soon. No, it really doesn't. Lieutenant tilts his head. This looks very hard to recover from. This man won't be feeding his family anytime soon. Not that he was, but... Lieutenant thinks to himself. At least he won't be beating his son. A pair of half-open bug eyes is staring back at you from the dark, empty and frozen. It's clear that the person behind them is not awake. Or what happened to his eyes? Can't you tell? It happened to exceptionally committed substance abuses. Happens. They fall asleep with their eyelids still open. Not a pretty sight. He's gonna sleep it off, I know this shit. Suddenly the man starts growling. 3 words manage to escape his mouth along with a strong stench of alcohol. Fuck. Look, he's trying to communicate. Figure out what he's trying to say. Yeah. The man groans once again, but his tongue keeps failing him. It's impossible to make out the syllables. A hand emerges from the blankets, trying to gesticulate something. And then it dawns upon you, clear and surreal. Pigs, he says. He's trying to call you pigs. You're awake. He's awake. His hand falls back on the bed, limp and defeated. A loud snore escapes his mouth. He's asleep again. At least he's got to say his piece. Is this thing even alive? I'm afraid it is. Look, it moves. He points to a fleshy lump sticking out from the other end of the blanket. The limb seems to be twitching from time to time. And look, the other foot is camouflaged by a striped sock bearing the name Maxtor on the sole. 3 toes are poking out of a hole. Groan rises from the man's throat, dry like a death rattle. He's trying to say something in his sleep. Maybe we should help him somehow. What is there to do? We could turn him on his side, so he doesn't choke on his own vomit. But he's already on his side. Excellent form. We could take him to Remedy or Saint Baptiste, but he doesn't have money for medical services. The almshouse would turn him down. They don't do charity for people who are trying to kill themselves. Besides, he'll be dead in a few. Then stops listening to him. I took your amphetamine, old man. Silence. Only heat emanates from the sleeping body. Okay. Books of critical theory on the monstrosities of capital and such. Moss crawls on those bathroom tiles. Actual moss. The shower curtains are covered in some sort of slime. Someone has thrown a 5-pointed star on the wall. The door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11. Examine the padlock. A solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it. Time for a little snip-snap. You seem committed to it, so go on. Shackle snaps like a twig and the lock falls to the floor with a little thud. It should be possible to enter now. After you, detective. Flamboyant poster of a white star. Real lithography. Photos of revolutionaries posing with guns. Revolutionaries love to pose with their guns. Krasmazov. Plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name of the plinth reads Krasmazov. Why does this tenant have a bust of Krasmazov in their bedroom? The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. Looks around before mumbling to himself. How fitting. Father Mazov, the hero of the working class. Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. Leans closer to inspect the photos of revolutionaries on the wall. There aren't many communists around. Not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems. Wherever lives, she needs to learn how the economy actually works. I suspect that's exactly what they're trying to do. He leans closer to inspect the economics book on the table. Meine Fresse. There are many communists around that after the revolution, some youths. Krasimov was a mass murderer. There's nothing cool about keeping his bust on your nightstand. He was definitely controversial. The tenant here seems to like him. He leans closer to inspect the photos of revolutionaries on war. And communal blah blah blah. Okay. Here's someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. Number on the panel says 10. But number 9 is locked. Apartment number 8, the mailbox is overflowing. Graffito says firing squad for the rich.
Give me a moment.
Ma'am. Elderly woman is leaning on a broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Don't you worry about me.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what you want from me, policeman?
Who are you? I'm no one. Just an old lady who cleans these hallways. You live here? If you can call it living. She spits on the floor before wiping it off with a broom. I have a little room upstairs, right next to the cold room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain. No. She juts out her chin, eyes shining. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need from this world. I'm looking for Billy Michon. Do you know where she lives? She narrows her pale grey eyes. It's about Victor, isn't it? It's always about Victor with her. You find Michon's in apartment number 20 upstairs. It's one of the doors on the balcony. I'm looking for Martin Martinez. Cleaning lady smiles gap-toothed smile when she hears you mention the name. Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here, don't you worry. No, you don't understand. I'm looking for a real person named Martin Martinez. He told me he's Martin Martinez. P-Brain, someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Revachol. Ops! You really didn't get the joke there. I thought it was obvious. He stops before he offends you. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name. How about a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoke on the balcony, knows where he lives? Know where he lives? Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right? She looks at the other end of the hallway. Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower. What's he in trouble for? No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives? Talk! The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes a broom, trying to catch her breath. He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. She points east. He's usually home in the evening. Thank you. He turns to you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home. I've a few questions about those apartments. Ask away, policeman. Is one of the residents on a vacation? The mailbox is overflowing. People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone. Who lives in apartment number 10? No one lives there. It's been empty for months. But I heard someone walking inside. Impossible! Cleaning lady says, shaking her head. I would know if someone had moved in there. She pauses, eyeing the hallway. Maybe it's those counterculture people again, breaking into our house like it's a public space. You policeman, be good and take a look, will you? Sure, I'll go see what I can find. Great, young people, they're worse than rats, you know. Always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Who lives behind the padlocked door? Oh, that one is a scientist, a future scholar. Suddenly the old lady's face is beaming. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study. Astrology? Something to do with all those stars around his door? He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. You mean a star and antlers? I think that's the symbol of communism. Symbol of what now? It's an ideology. It has some noble aims, but it's also been used to justify terrible bloodshed. The cleaning lady shrugs and returns to sweeping. Tell me about the man who lives at the end of the hallway. Right there. Cleaning lady starts digging for something in her pockets. I don't want to talk about the reserve, she mutters. Why not? Addicts, all of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming. She winces. They don't like me cleaning behind their door. I'm listening in on their fights. These are unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted? No one likes them in this building. She shakes her head. It's only because of the kid they haven't been thrown out. I don't like talking about those people. What can you tell me about Cindy? The artist? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leans on her broom. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others. That's all, thanks. Bye. Bye. Foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Sea below looks cold and winter grey. Someone has torn down the wall. Old grocery list on the table. Checks. Walking stops abruptly and no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side. Sound like a woman's shoes. This time the steps come closer. "Who is this?" demands a female voice, worried and tense. "This is the police. Open up." Do I have to open the door? You hear the clacking of field scan as the other side walks right up to the door. Her tone is now getting a defensive edge. "Do you have a warrant?" "I'm not obliged to open the door if you don't have a warrant." "Let's go," the lieutenant says. "We don't have a reason to get inside the apartment." "This apartment is supposed to be empty. Did you break in here?" "Excuse me? Of course not." "There's no sweet talking your way in there. Be official." "I don't need a warrant if I suspect there's been a break-in." "Oh, come on." There's a pause before you hear the door being unlocked. "That was smart," Lieutenant says, nodding toward the unlocked door. "Yeah. Yeah, boy." Blister pack of medicine peeks out of the box. Should take it. Looks like a fine mattress. Don't be ridiculous, you can hear it swarming with bugs. Could it be the phasmid? No, probably not. +1 to indirect modes of taxation. Das habe ich nicht mal gedingst. Certified. My name is Marielle Charpentier. I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here. The keys, see? She jingles a set of keys in her hand. Boy, there are a lot of different keys there, more than 20 at least. The voice is really cheerful despite her obviously hating you. Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too? She fumbles through her purse, fishing out a light paper-clad passport. Inspect the passport. It feels flimsy in hand with the words Revachol Special Administrative Region written onto a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details. If friendly. Nice haircut. Thank you. She slips the passport back in her purse. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. What are you doing here? She sighs and looks around. I need to get it ready for the next lease. But as you can see, the previous tenant completely thrashed the place. Sounds like they knew how to have a good time. It was some kind of a moribund old man. He used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent. He stops, hesitating. A sudden serious look crosses her face. The story didn't have a happy ending. But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. We lived in a foreclosed apartment down the hallway. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3? We closed the apartment and planned on an auction of the valuables, but... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall, can you believe it? She spreads her hands, and then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone, just like that. She snaps her fingers. Oh, it irks her. The incompetence. So wait, what happened with the wall? Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time to or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both! He's still shaking her head. Manicured hands now crossed over the chest. That's all, thank you. Of course, she replies with a smile, but her eyes remain glazed over. She's been waiting for you to leave. Goodbye. Look, it's Rusty. You can't get in. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. Hi, Cindy.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves, but here you are.
That's right, we've evolved.
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
Is that heavy fuel oil? That is the contents of Cindy's bucket. Red dyed heavy fuel oil intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise. What do you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself back in Jamrock. She really did it. She's proud of it too. That's some clever cultural commentary. You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo. Piggy Boo. Bye, Cindy. Someone's been sleeping here recently. North cold lasts for several winters, smells of chemicals. 100 tiny feet scurrying beneath the great reds of the city. Breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electric wires. Curtains shift just a little. Someone is watching from within. Ooh. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and a cactus. This is the door to apartment 29. Complete silence. Whoever lives here isn't home. "20. Weather brown door, the number reads 20. Something smells good. Soup à l'oignon. Zwiebelsuppe. Ooh. The lieutenant motions you to go ahead and knock. Just so you already know, this is the door. You already know it's the right door. This is going to be so hard. Get yourself together. It's just police work. How long? We should discuss this before we move on. What should we expect? You're right. Let's talk this through. He looks at the apartment door and lowers his voice a bit. He lights footsteps passing by the door and some folk music playing on the radio. We have our first preliminary identification. In all likelihood, the deceased is the husband of Billy Michon. We need to confirm this, as well as deliver the death notification to Billy herself. Now, delivering a death notification is never an easy task. There's a reason why it's often called the most stressful part of our job. This is why it's usually done in pairs. You got this. I'll be monitoring reactions, ready to act if necessary. Do you have any advice on how to tell her he is dead? Just don't say that you know how they feel. You don't. Good advice. Okay. Alright, I think I'm ready.
Hello? Who is it?
Voice calls out from the other side of the door. And someone turns down the radio. Look at the lieutenant first and gives you a short, encouraging nod. Is this Billy Michon's home? This is the police. Please open the door.
The police? A moment, please. Give us a moment.
Here, you hear shuffling inside. Tidying up nervously. There's fear in her voice.
Come in, the door is open.
Empty bag of red Astra cigarettes hidden under the bed. Windows covered in old newspaper clippings. Packages of humanitarian aid macaronis. Some leftovers kept warm on a stovetop. It smells like buckwheat and onions here. Chalk-drawn height chart for children's growth over the years. Textbook for high school. Mathematics, trigonometry mostly. Posters of contemporary pop stars that are on the wall. Clock is ticking away with an odd cheerfulness. Its ticking makes you anxious. Rings hollow in the room.
It's you from the book stand.
Did you come to bring my cockatoo back?
She smiles nervously before the smile vanishes from her face.
I don't think I introduced myself properly. I'm Billy. Would you like something to drink? Or tea, lemonade? We're out of coffee.
Lieutenant is taking off his foggy glasses and is busy cleaning them in his handkerchief for now. You're on your own here. He must feel more vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead? Thanks, but I'm alright. Is this about Victor, my husband? Is he in some kind of trouble again? I can come pick him up in the station if that's what... She stops. Her eyes trying to read answers from your face. Something changes in her expression. No, this is something much worse. Is he in a hospital? How bad is it? Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place. You've done this before, just keep your focus. Ma'am, I'm very sorry to say, but your husband, Victor Michon, was found dead on the Martinez boardwalk. She blinks. What did you say? Great and terrible spike. The blood freezes in her veins. Your husband, Victor Michon, is dead. I'm very sorry for your loss, ma'am. Oh. She touches her neck, eyes pale, like pearls in seawater. Oh, she says again. But he was just... She looks at the kitchen table, where 2 cigarette butts are still in the tray. But he was just here, alive. We understand this comes as a huge shock. I want you to know that me and my partner, he points at you, are here for you if you have any questions. Take your time, ma'am. What happened to him? She turns to you. Her neck and cheeks are covered with red blotches. Her double chin is shaking. It was an accident. He fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head. Was he drunk? Alcohol may have played a role, yes. I see. She withdraws, trying to picture the scene. And you just found him there, lying in the cold? How long had he been there? If you say 2 days, maybe it will be etched in her mind forever. It's hard to say at this point. She blinks, eyes welling up with tears, as her hands start searching for something from the pockets of her dress. A handkerchief. Small terrified smile quivers on her face as she takes the handkerchief and wipes away the tears. She looks disoriented. Is there anyone we could call for you? A friend, a family member, someone who could be here for you. No, no, she breathes in. I just need to tell my girls. The air gets sucked out of her lungs suddenly. It burns like acid. God, should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? No, a day. No, take a day to recover. You'll be better prepared when they come home tomorrow. Good, that's probably the right thing. Thank you. She nods, but with a wretched expression. Just tell me, what do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him? We've taken him to the city morgue. The local coroner will be contacting you shortly to arrange the funeral. Here's his number in case you want to contact him earlier. He hands a leaflet with the morgue's contact information. Is there anything else that the RCM could do for you? No, I'll call you if something comes up. I'm still... She rubs her face, runs her fingers over her cheeks that have become numb. Thank you. She looks down. Thank you for telling me. I'll call if... She runs out of breath. Again, I'm very sorry, ma'am. She nods at the woman, then looks back at you, his voice lowered. We should step outside and talk. Is it library card by her? Okay.
You did well.
Lieutenant says as soon as you've left the apartment, balcony feels cold and quiet, with a stunning view of the district. What now? I'll call this station tomorrow and let them know the name of the deceased. What about Billy and her kids? They'll manage. They have to. It's not your place to live their lives. That's it? That's it. Should get back to our case now. Our duty here is done. But this is closed then. Let's go. Go to apartment 30. Voices from within singing along to some buoyant dance track. Okay. So, bevor ich hier weitermache, gehe ich nochmal schnell zurück. Oh. Was war da denn jetzt noch? Nochmal schnell zurück zur Bibliothek, Dings, zum Bücherladen. Nochmal die Tür probieren. Here, distant traffic night is falling on the city. Maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. Okay. Ich hoffe, der Laden hat noch offen. Ups. Das wollte ich nicht. Egal. Ja, endlich. Moment, was? Smash on the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side, but you've done it. Okay. Lieutenant stares at you as you stand there, silent and brooding. You're not thinking of trying again, are you? Fuck the system! Yeah. Nice.
What is this place?
No idea, Kim, but my head hurts. My head hurts bad. We don't have to explore an abandoned gym, you know. Besides, no one's been here in ages. I thought the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. An eerie feeling rises in your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we? The banal. What is this stuff? Hatte ich gestern nicht noch einen anderen Anzug an? Ich weiß es nicht. Ich hatte auf jeden Fall ein anderes. Das Ding an und das Ding hatte ich an. Anzugmäßig weiß ich gar nicht. Was hat denn die Jacke? Plus 1 Esprit und ein Visual Calculus. Ne, die passt eigentlich. Ne, also hat sich eigentlich nur, soweit ich das sehe, hat sich glaube ich eigentlich nur Shirt und das um den Hals geändert. Then is stripping for a punchback. Ah ja, und vor kurzem haben wir neue Schuhe gefunden. Aber ansonsten, den Rest haben wir eigentlich schon eine Zeit lang an. Wenn ich mich richtig erinnere. Außer die Brille, aber die sieht man ja kaum. So, wo ist denn das Gefrierfach? Poster says Sitius Fortis. Smells like leather and sweat. Walnut wall bars, they look unsafe. What? Barbell lies on the floor. Color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilogram. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them! There are no colors on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. Memory from another life, when you were young and fit. Look, Cam, it's a trap. There are no colors on the barbell. You're right. The weights may fall off. Better not touch it then. What kind of a bastard would just remove the colors? It should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPI's safety regulations if the gym was still operating. But it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. Left the barbell. Oh. Oh no.
Ah!
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous, your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. Whatever. Weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired anyway. It was never my favorite either. Lieutenant's obviously handling you. At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head. Lieutenant steps away from the barbell, letting you recover in peace. Oh. Always blocked by old window panes and debris. Spoopy. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Poor animals, no rest for their bodies after death. A large, but demijohn full of strange liquid. Airship rotors covered in spider webs, they remind you of blades. Yeah, Geld. Naked mannequin torso, strange yellow earrings. But where are the clothes it used to display? Ah. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Production schedule filament memory. Hey, ist das nicht das, was die braucht? Scribble across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. What? Floorboard creaks. Shoes on a pot of melting snow. An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. What an odd thing to do, nothing happens. Still nothing, no one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now. Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? This is not random, this is significant. I want to see what's on the other side. What do you think there's necessarily something on the other side? Lieutenant asks, but you can see a spark of curiosity in his eyes. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now. Let's investigate further. Okay, vielleicht sollte ich das noch ausrüsten. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Inspect the drawings. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Were all those creatures fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins towering among the rest appears to be different, however. Examine the welkin, this is important. It's Varahamira, a high welkin. His face white and scarred with cracked marble, like cracked marble. Is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says all non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldar, the Dwerg, the humans, and even the headless men, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, red welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all. Lieutenant can't help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Na, gucken wir uns das beim nächsten Mal an. Könnte ein bisschen länger gehen. Wer weiß. Aber ja, gucken wir uns beim nächsten Mal an.